According to Sony, the world of these days can only be driven by power, creativity, and technology.
Sony Corporation is a Japanese multinational and cluster company, which is a fierce competitor to the two brands Samsung and LG. Over the years, Sony has always been one of the top manufacturers in various industries, and still this global brand has always taken a special place in the ratings.
Sony was founded in 1946 in collaboration with Ibuka Masaru and Akio Morita under the name Tsushin Kogyo, Tokyo Telecommunications Engineering Company. Ibuka and Morita started with 200,000 yen, a little over $1,500, in a store building. The two men who served in the military during World War II met and combined their abilities to become the most attractive working relationship in commercial history.
Sony's first product was a chopper machine, which is also considered Sony's first failure, was the aforementioned disaster product, because it either burned rice or was raw, because Japan was in a time of poverty and food shortages, and the two had not been able to provide enough rice to test the crop.
Following Sony's first failure, its founders worked harder to produce the first Japanese recording device, inspired by the American model. Also known as the Type G, it also failed to attract the attention of the public, and Sony once again showed up in the Japanese market.
Ibuka and Marietta came up with a solution, and eventually, with the release of 999 ways to use the audio recorder, people began to learn how to use the device, and the sale of Type G made a significant improvement. At the time when Japan was at war, people wanted to know the news, so demand for Sony radio increased so much that the founders had to expand their facilities.
Choosing the right name for the newly founded Sony company was one of the challenges facing the founders. Ibuka and Morita in Japan often referred to Sony as Tatsuko, but Morita found during a trip to the United States that the word Tatsuko was difficult for Americans to pronounce. Eventually the two decided to name their company combining the two words Sonus and the word Sony, a word to sound like a young boy in America.
After the success of the Type G and transistor radios, Sony began producing the first removable television. Technologies at the time were such that televisions were so heavy that they could be moved by a few people with difficulty, but Sony claimed to have produced a portable television.
In 1971, Sony unveiled a video player that was able to display tapes in color on a television. Sony has unveiled its first portable cassette tape called Walkman. With the ability to play cassette tapes anywhere, the device allows users to listen to content wherever they like.
The Sony brand occupies a special place in the field of manufacturing photographic cameras. The first camera made by Sony entered the market in 1995, capable of capturing high-quality videos and images. Sony's products have been upgraded every year, and now Sony's Alpha generation cameras are among the best and highest quality cameras in the world.
Sony game consoles. It's almost impossible for anyone to have played games with gaming consoles once and not heard of Sony. P.S. Title is a 32-bit home video game console of the 5th generation, first released in Japan on December 3, 1994, December 12, 1993, by Sony Computer Entertainment.
Sony game consoles themselves are a separate article, which we will talk in detail about in a separate video. Sony Ericsson smartphones were Sony's most popular smartphones, produced in 2001 in partnership with Sony and Ericsson. Sony Corporation marketed its mobile phones under the Sony Ericsson name until it bought Ericsson's shares in 2012, making it a good ranking among the largest mobile manufacturers.
With Sony's offer of cooperation to Samsung, SLCD Corporation was founded in 2004. This collaboration enabled Sony to achieve eye-popping progress in making LCD panels production. The first OLED TV came out in 2007 with Sony but was not very popular due to its high price. In fact, we owe the development of LED displays to Sony. Sony's TVs come in third place behind Samsung and LG.
Sony's first laptop also entered Japanese markets with the name Vaio, which changed the definition of personal computers to general. One of the areas in which Sony is the first to say after the PlayStation is the sound system. Sony's home theater and soundbars are world famous.
The Japanese company Sony currently has more than 125,000 employees in different countries around the world. The company's headquarters are located in Minato, Tokyo, Japan. One of the most innovative and creative companies of the 1990s to 2000s was Sony, and its various products are no secret from anyone.
Sony Corporation is now the world's best maker of game consoles and one of the best makers of televisions. Sony's famous slogans are like no other / be moved and make believe. The brand with its strong roots and successful products is one of the best companies in the world today. This is a history of Sony's history from the past to the present. I hope you enjoyed it. Which Sony products do you use?
Don't forget to like the video and subrate the channel to see more videos.